What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, as I told you, unified British heavyweight world champion Anthony Joshua will vacate the WBO title as he has two mandatories. He has a mandatory for the WBO, he has a mandatory for the IBF. Pulev is the mandatory for the IBF title, who is a top-ranked Bob Arum fighter, ESPN fighter. Oleksandr Usyk is the mandatory for the WBO title, who is a Matchroom Eddie Hearn, the zone fighter. So it's easy for him to drop the WBO title, like I stated, go ahead and satisfy his mandatory with the IBF and face Pulev, who has been negotiating with Anthony Joshua. This will be the third time, and third time is a charm. They'll get it done. And then you'll be able to keep the WBO belt in-house, as Eddie Hearn is the promoter of both guys, Matchroom CEO and promoter, right? He'll keep that belt in-house. He can control the direction that WBO belt goes. If he loses and vacates the IBF, he cannot control the direction the IBF belt goes in because, like I stated, Pulev is a top-ranked ESPN Bob Arum fighter. So with that said, I told you guys when we saw Dereck Chisora face off against David Price, Dereck Chisora was scheduled and pegged to face Joseph Parker, who Joseph Parker is the #1 mandatory challenger for the WBO. He held that belt before. They were supposed to face off. That was the setup right there. You know, those dominoes were set up for the winner of that fight to fight Oleksandr Usyk for the mandatory for the WBO should Anthony Joshua have been victorious against Andy Ruiz Jr. December 7th in Saudi Arabia in their highly anticipated rematch. We know the outcome. Anthony Joshua was successful, totally outclassed Andy Ruiz Jr., regained his belts. Now the chips are going to fall just like I told you. Dereck Chisora and Oleksandr Usyk will be facing off March 7th for the vacant WBO belt. Just like I told you guys. I told you guys that Joseph Parker was trying to push to be in that position, but Joseph Parker pulled out of the Dereck Chisora fight, which saw Dereck Chisora continue on with the date and face David Price and knocked out David Price in dramatic fashion. He earned the spot. Joseph Parker pulled out due to injury, so why would Joseph Parker be able to jump ahead of Dereck Chisora and face Oleksandr Usyk for the vacant WBO belt that Anthony Joshua is going to vacate? So I told you guys. So March 7th, expect to see Dereck Chisora versus Oleksandr Usyk, and on top of that, Anthony Joshua will face the winner of that fight. Like I stated, Eddie Hearn can control the outcome on the WBO belt. That'll allow Anthony Joshua to go back and regain the WBO belt in a mega fight because they're expecting Oleksandr Usyk to beat Dereck Chisora. But even if Dereck Chisora is to beat Oleksandr Usyk, that still would be a mega fight for Anthony Joshua, Dereck Chisora over in the UK. Not so much here in the States, but over in the UK, that would be a big fight. That would be a mega fight over there. As Dereck Chisora is still a star over in the UK. So, with that said, you can expect to see Dereck Chisora and Oleksandr Usyk March 7th. And like I stated, Joshua is going to go after the winner. This is all dependent upon the chips falling in the, Anthony Joshua beating Pulev. Then he'll face the winner. As Eddie Hearn has stated that a fight between Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk has been well thought about. It's been talked about for quite some time, but it's not as big as it needs to be. Oleksandr Usyk just recently made his heavyweight debut against Chaz Witherspoon, and it wasn't the best performance in the world. He didn't show the best power in the world, but Chaz Witherspoon was not in shape. He wasn't able to continue, so he got the stoppage victory. But with that said, Dereck Chisora is a true heavyweight and has a lot of grit and a lot of dog in him. So this is going to tell us a lot about Oleksandr Usyk. And if Oleksandr Usyk could beat Dereck Chisora, who I thought was he beat Dillian Whyte, once beaten British heavyweight contender. He beat Dillian Whyte the first time, I thought, but Dillian Whyte got the nod. And the second time he was beating Dillian Whyte, but Dillian Whyte caught him with a beautiful combination and knocked Dereck Chisora out. So Dereck Chisora has been in there with Tyson Fury. He's been in there with big names. He's been in there with Vitaly Klitschko, right? So he's no newbie to this. Oleksandr's a newbie. So this is a telltale sign. This will give us a good gauge of just how good Oleksandr Usyk is. So like I stated, Oleksandr Usyk winner, Dereck Chisora winner will face Anthony Joshua to allow Anthony Joshua to regain his WBO, become unified again. This will be a third time he'll be unified, and this will get the ball rolling to the winner of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder satisfies a victory over Tyson Fury. then I can see Deontay Wilder, because that fight is going to be February 22nd in Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM. Then let's say in the summertime he was to go and face Dillian White. Get that fight out of the way. I can see Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fighting in December of 2020 or early 2021 for Undisputed. So this is how the chips are going to fall. This is the way they want to set this up, right? Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. This is how I told you guys Oleksandr Usyk versus Dereck Chisora was coming. Now it's here, March 7th, 2020. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Oleksandr Usyk versus Dereck Chisora, March 7, 2020 for the vacant WBO belt. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.